We're planning for the long run, and not just in the Javelin, because this situation, the Ukraine conflict, has highlighted a couple of really important things for us. One is that we need to have superior systems in large enough numbers, so like Javelins, Stingers, advanced cruise missiles, equipment like that. So we know there's going to be increased demand for those kinds of systems from the U.S. and for our allies as well, and beyond into Asia-Pacific most likely too. The second really valuable lesson was control of the airspace is really critical. So the Ukrainians are managing to control their airspace. The Russian Air Force doesn't have free reign over the entire country. And the reason that they don't is because the Ukrainians can still fly their aircraft, and they also have a pretty effective integrated air and missile defense system. So products and systems like F-16, F-35, Patriot missiles, THAAD missiles, we know that there's going to be increased demand for those kinds of equipment too, because the threat between Russia and China is just going to increase even after the Ukraine war. We hope is over soon. Those two nations, and regionally Iran and North Korea, are not going to get less active. Probably they're going to get more active. So we want to make sure we can supply our allies and our country what they need to defend against.
So what do you need to do that? Because you did say supply chain's an issue. I read that there's over, 250 microchips or semiconductors in each Javelin.
That's right.
We know there's an effort in Congress to get legislation to try to create more semiconductors here instead of relying on Asian suppliers. Can you do this scale up without that kind of legislation?
It will be extremely helpful to have the Bipartisan Innovation Act passed, for example, because we do need to invest more in the infrastructure in the U.S. so we have domestic supply. So we're collaborating right now, for example, with Intel. It's one of our partners in trying to drive what we call 21st century security into national defense. And we're going to need the most advanced processors, and we're going to need them to be customizable to defense needs as well. So having that domestic capability, again, to go all the way through production and testing is going to be more important in the future than it is even today.
You also make F-35 fighter jets. You referenced there. Germany's now trying to buy them. I mean, you have a lot of buyers in Europe right